Dr. Rajen Prasad.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's a special pleasure for me to speak on the report of the Foreign Affairs, Defence and Trade Select Committee on the briefing it received from the Baha'i community in New Zealand. And in doing that, Mr. Speaker, I pay tribute to the late Murray Smith, a Baha'i and a member of this House from 1972 to 1975. He passed away recently. A member for Whangarei, yes. Mr. Speaker, I want to place on record, the record of this House, the nature of the Baha'i community in New Zealand, their essential characteristics and the real concerns they have about persecution of their members in Iran, the birthplace of their religion. Mr. Speaker, I choose to bring this to the attention of my colleagues in Parliament because I know they are intolerant of religious persecution, because New Zealand is a key player in the interfaith world, and because I have known the Baha'i community in New Zealand for 45 years. New Zealand has a large Baha'i community. They are active, responsible, productive, hardworking and intelligent, spiritual, honest and inclusive society, a group accepting and they are proud New Zealanders. Many are Iranian Baha'is who escaped the persecution in their homeland in order to lead a better life away from Iran, but for whom escape cannot be entirely celebrated because members of their families still remain in their home country and who are persecuted. In a country like New Zealand, where we tend to take religious freedom for granted, it may be difficult for us to imagine persecution on religious grounds, and especially state-sponsored religious persecution that other members have referred to as well. Yet that is exactly the situation faced by the Baha'is in Iran. Baha'is in New Zealand number about 3,000 to 4,000, and they are perhaps the most diverse community of any in this country, comprising people from many different ethnicities, nationalities, and religious and social economic backgrounds. Mr. Speaker, they work consistently and constantly towards the creation of a more harmonious New Zealand society, and are one of the prime actors in promoting the concept of unity in diversity through their race relations work, something I found particularly helpful to my work as the Race Relations Conciliator from 1996 to 2001. The Baha'i faith is the world's youngest independent monotheistic religion. It was founded in Iran in the mid-1800s and is now practiced by around 6 million people around the globe. It is geographically more widespread than any other religion except Christianity, according to the Encyclopedia Britannica. Baha'is constitute by far the largest religious minority in Iran, with approximately 300,000 adherents. Their teachings emphasize equality, unity, justice, and peace. They insist on obedience to government and non-participation in partisan politics. They condemn violence and any form of subversive activity and strongly encourage a spirit of service to the whole community, regardless of religion, race, gender, or socioeconomic background. Yet Iranian authorities have viewed the Baha'i faith as an apostasy, that is turning away from the religion of Islam, and treated as a threat since its very beginning. In the early years, more than 20,000 Baha'is were killed for no reason other than being Baha'is. The present regime officially recognizes Christians, Jews, and Zoroastrians as religious minorities, but does not extend the same status to Baha'is. Instead, they are regarded as unprotected infidels. More than 200 Baha'i have been executed since the 1979 revolution. In 1980, the clergy moved to destroy Baha'i leadership. On 21 August of that year, all 9 members of the Baha'i National Governing Council were arrested and they disappeared without trace. It seems certain they were executed. The following year, 8 of the 9 Baha'i elected to replace those who disappeared were also executed. In 1983, the Iranian government formally banned all elected Baha'i religious institutions, a ban with which the Baha'i community immediately complied as a sign of goodwill in order to demonstrate their obedience to the government. In 1991, a memorandum was prepared at the request of the supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and the Iranian president, Hashemi Rafsanjani. And that memorandum includes statements such as the government's dealings with them, the Baha'is, must be in such a way that their progress and development are blocked. They can be enrolled in schools provided they have not identified themselves as Baha'is, but they are required to identify themselves. They must be expelled from universities, either in the admission process or during the course of their studies, once it becomes known they are Baha'is. They are to be denied employment if they identify themselves as Baha'is. They are to be denied any position of influence, such as in the educational sector. This policy remains current and is being applied with increasing intensity throughout Iran. Indeed, it has given birth to a number of other policy documents calling for all Baha'i to be identified and their activities monitored, smacks of some other persecutions that we could all identify. As a result of such policies, Baha'is are routinely arrested, detained, and then released. Having paid sometimes exorbitant bail, Baha'i students are denied access to tertiary education and may even be denied access to kindergarten and to primary and secondary education. Baha'i businesses are being denied licenses and may be arsoned. Cemeteries are being desecrated, property confiscated, bank loans refused, and employees sacked. Early last year, the Iranian regime imprisoned 7 unofficial leaders of the Baha'i community. They have now been held for more than 18 months without access to legal counsel, without formal charges, in seriously substandard conditions. In February of this year, news media reported that the 7 would be tried on charges of espionage for Israel, insulting religious sanctities, and propaganda against the Islamic Republic. And I just want to add my caution to what Mr. Carter said, the Honourable Chris Carter said, that this is not a commentary on all Muslims. This is a commentary on this particular regime. Later, an additional charge was announced, spreading corruption on earth, a charge which may result in the death penalty. Trial dates have not been set and repeatedly postponed. At present, there is no trial date. I have been reliably advised that there is abundant documentary evidence to confirm not only that this persecution is taking place, but also its scope, intensity, and almost routine nature. This evidence has been accepted as genuine by the United Nations, by Amnesty International, the International Federation of Human Rights, the Muslim Network for Baha'i Rights, HR Watch, Nobel Peace Laureates, and numerous governments around the world, including New Zealand. And still these actions continue, despite the fact that Iran was one of the first signatories to the Universal Declaration on Human Rights and is also a signatory to the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. Their actions are also in clear violation of their own constitution and of the Holy Quran. I think this Parliament would agree that such actions are unacceptable and constitute a serious breach of human rights. They are a travesty to everything New Zealand parliamentarians believe in. And so, because New Zealand has always stood firm and spoken out when it is needed to, I commend the 3 recommendations of the Select Committee to this House. This is an issue that affects us all, not just because it affects some of our compatriots, but because we are responsible world citizens and advocates and upholders of human rights everywhere. It's been my pleasure to speak on behalf of the Baha'i community in New Zealand. I've heard these comments from them for a number of years now, and it is the first opportunity I've had to formally put this on the record of the House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary, no. The ayes have it. Call members' order of the day number 5.